Hi, my name's Jo Berry. I'm a Roman historian and I'm here to tell you about one of our first year modules, which is Rome from Village to Empire. Now, as you probably guessed from the title, this module looks at the full sweep of Roman history from the foundation of Rome in the 8th century BC, think Romulus and Remus, right the way through to the 3rd century AD and beyond as well. But it's not a narrative. What we'll be doing is looking at some of the major themes from this period of history, and we'll also be looking at all of the different types of evidence that historians like you and like me that we can use to study this period and to learn about Rome and to learn about the Romans. So, for example, when we look at the foundation of Rome, what we'll be doing is discussing the archaeological evidence that you can use to find out what it was that made Rome special in this period, okay? But we'll also be looking at some of the literature, some of the things that the Romans actually wrote about the foundation of Rome. What did they actually believe made them special? What made them different from all of the other peoples who were living in Italy in that period? When we get to Rome's conquest of an empire, we'll be talking about imperialism and the related issues of cultural change and ideology. But we won't just be doing it from the Roman point of view. We'll also be looking at what the people that the Romans conquered actually thought about it. How did they react? How did they respond to Roman conquest? And we'll get to look at different types of evidence to do this. So we'll look at inscriptions and we'll look at coins, for example. But it's not all going to be politics and it's not all going to be warfare, because in this module we'll also be looking at a whole bunch of other things as well, like religion, like gender, like slavery, like patronage, social hierarchies, all of the things that made the Romans who they were. All of this will be done through analysis of primary evidence. We'll be looking at the ancient literature, the archaeological material, the coins, the inscriptions, any kind of evidence we can find for the Romans. But it will be you doing the analysis. In class, we'll have lots of discussions, there'll be group work, there'll be lots of opportunities for you to share your views, your opinions, your thoughts about the Romans and what the evidence actually means. So this module is all about teaching you to analyse this evidence, to make up your own mind about it. And because of this, it follows on really nicely from the Greek history module that you will have done the previous semester.